Hi, welcome to Sick Automobile. So today we're doing a front brake pads and rotors from a Tesla Model X or S. Basically, both of them use the same principle. So first things first, remove your tires, place the wheel on the ground. Then, as you can see, what we have here, the rotor is all gone. The rotor is gone. So the next thing that we're gonna do right now is to remove the brake caliper and the old brake pad. So grab a piece of chisel, mini chisel, and a hammer. Just hammer the brake pad. I'll call it the brake pad stud or whatever you want to call it, pin, whatever. So that said, once you if you've done a brake job on Hongers and Sequoias and Land Cruisers, they basically are the same principle. So the next thing, as you can see, I'm gonna show you what I'm gonna do here. So I'm gonna press down that, fix that. So the next thing I'm gonna do is to just spray down, trying to clean out those guys. With brake. You can use a brake cleaner, wherever you can. I try to use a glass cleaner. That's what I'm using. So the next thing, grab two pliers. Sorry, Phillips and a pry bar. So once you make your way, you use the pry bar just to push the pistons in. So basically, that's what I'm doing here. So when you do that, you make your way on the other side. You hold on to the other one. That way, it doesn't push out the piston again. So that's basically what I'm doing here. So pry the next one. That done, as you can see, those brakes are gone. So I tried to clean out this area, clean them out. Always wear a face mask anytime you're doing brake, to avoid the brake dust, you inhaling the brake dust. So that's what I'm doing right now. So grab a brake cleaner, just clean out, the residues, everything like that. Make sure everything looks clean. So basically that's what I'm doing. So the next thing I'm gonna do is to grab a 18 millimeter socket with a extension and a ratchet. That's what I'm doing right now. I'm gonna remove, break loose the caliper bolts first. I like to break them loose first. And yeah, so the next thing I'm gonna do is clean more, of the brake caliper. As you can see, feel a lot of brake dust. You don't want to be selling all those things. Always make sure you're wearing a face mask. Cover your nose and all that. You don't want to be having those things. So the next thing is to secure the brake caliper. I mean, if you leave the brake caliper hanging, no biggie. But I'm just trying to do it the proper way. If you let it hang, is all aluminum. Not even aluminum. Don't know what the material is for that, but it's so light. So the next thing I'm gonna grab is TP 45 to remove the rotor. We call it, most times people call them brake disc. So that's what I'm gonna be doing right now. So take it off, boom, out. So I'm gonna clean some more, clean, 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 clean. You know, make sure everything is good. So the next thing I'm gonna do right now is to grab the new brake rotors. You know, as you can see, on the, let's say, combustion engines, you have to use a brake cleaner to clean out the surface, to remove the oil, to avoid the position, or whatever. This one, you don't have to do it. You know, you don't do it. That's the proper way to do this one. You know, install back the nut, the bolt. Sorry. Then the next thing is to install the caliper back. I always like to hand try it first. Get some in. Don't try to use the gun first, so that you don't cross thread it. If you cross thread it, you're done. So that done. The next thing I'm gonna do is to torque those bolts to spec. You can do 95 or 90. That's good. Foot-pound. Yep. So the next thing I'm gonna do now is to take out you know, take a grease just to apply on the caliper. I'll say caliper wall or caliper trail or whatever you want to call it. Just to make sure everything goes in smooth, no squeak, no rattle, no nothing. So just a little. You don't have to apply the whole grease in there, just a little. Yeah, so the next thing I'm gonna do right now is to bring out the new brake pads and the anti squeak um, grease. So that's what we're gonna be doing right now. Push this thing aside. Yeah, so we're gonna be applying it at the back of the brake pad. And then after that, we install the backing plate. So yeah, so we're gonna be installing the back plates on it. This is a step by step. If you have any question, please let me know. So we're gonna install. As you can see, the way it goes in only one way. It doesn't have any, you know. So this one kind of a little stuck. So we're gonna take it off again. Gotta take out the brake pad. Looks like the pistons were not pushed in all the way. So that done, we're gonna try it again. Boom. So the next thing I'm gonna do right now is to clean out these guys. The you know the rod and the plate. You can call it anything. Just to clean these things. You know. So I choose to do it this way, just to wipe it down properly. You can choose to use a brake cleaner, a sandpaper, or whatever. Just I choose to do mine this way. To make sure everything is clean. Yeah. So the next thing is to clean those two rods. Those rods that hold on to the brake pads. Like I said, you can use anything to clean them. As long as they're clean, that's what matters. Brake cleaner, I choose to use something else, which is a crazy clean, for interiors. To clean out interiors. So as you can see, it goes only one way. You're gonna see the map, right there. So first of all, put on the top. Now push it down. Push the bottom down. Then you use your hammer. Just tap it. You know, tap it. Make sure it's flush. You don't have to. Gotta be flush for you to make sure you get it. It's flush. Next thing we're gonna do is to spin the rotors to make sure there's no noise, to avoid when customer breaks and all that. And how what's funny on this one is once you're done doing your brakes, all you need to do get into the car, on Teslas. All you need to do is get into the car, step on the brake, just pop it, step on the brake one time, and the thing is ready to go. It's not like on combustion engines where you have to keep pressing. Thanks for watching.